Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I've said it for a long time now that the Mets had hit rock bottom. I said it when they got swept by Tampa Bay. I said it after they lost all three and got swept by the Braves. And I even said it yesterday. But I believe this may actually be the worst that I have seen the New York Mets in a long, long time. The Mets get swept by the Pittsburgh Pirates. Not just swept, though. They don't just lose all three games in this series. They end up getting outclassed by the Pirates by a final score on Friday of 9-2, yesterday of 9-1, and today of 12-1, 12-2, doesn't matter. They get outscored in these three games 30-4 as the New York Mets are absolutely embarrassed out of the city of Pittsburgh. We thought we may have rounded a corner. We thought maybe, hey, the Mets are going to get back onto the good schneid, the good winning streak here. They won the last two games of that series with Atlanta. It was at home. It was really ugly the first two games, but maybe they, have come out of the doldrums that they were in. But that is not the case. We thought maybe a 5-game winning streak. That was not the case. They get swept by Pittsburgh. A series that we thought as Mets fans that the Mets might sweep from the Pirates. And instead, the Pirates are the ones with the brooms in their hands. The last place Pirates who also, by the way, if you didn't know, have scored the least amount of runs this year. They have the lowest slugging percentage. They have the least amount of homers this season in Major League Baseball. And the Mets pitching staff made them look like they were Murderers Row from 1957 or whatever year that was, as they get just absolutely throttled by the Pirates. Final score of 12-1. The Mets' lone run coming on a Luis Torrens solo homer in the 6th inning, 5th inning, doesn't matter, as Richard Lovelady, Dickie Lovelady, whatever you want to call him, goes back out there. Another genius signing by David Stearns. And the Mets end up just getting completely put to the task by the Pirates. Guys, I am Tony Metro. I am out of words. I don't know what else to say at this point. I thought that the Mets were going to get back on track. I thought this would be a soft landing spot for them against Pittsburgh. I thought that, maybe after winning those two games against Atlanta at Citi Field, that maybe the Mets would, come around and start playing closer to the back of their baseball card. Instead, we get outscored by a final of 30-4 runs in this series. They scored 9 yesterday, they scored 9 on Friday, and they scored 12 runs today. So a final of 30-3 against the Pittsburgh Pirates. I can't even be mad anymore. I can't even be mad. I was mad yesterday. You probably saw my videos either here on YouTube, TikTok, but I can't even be upset at this point. They have put me to a point where I am ready to accept it. What are the 5 stages of grief? First is, I believe, denial, then it's anger, then it's, I don't know. There's a couple other in there, but I am at the final stage of grief with the New York Mets. I am at acceptance that this team may not be as good as we thought that they were. What the hell happened? They have been just outclassed by one of the last place teams in baseball in the Pittsburgh Pirates. I just am shocked. I never would have imagined that coming into this weekend after winning the final 2 games of the series with the Braves, that they would have gotten swept. I thought 2 out of 3, but even that is probably not enough. And then it turns into, well, they lose the first game 9-1. That really sucked. Okay, win the next 2 and we'll feel a lot better. Nope. They lose yesterday 9-2. And then in the first inning of this one, Frankie Montas lets the Pirates put up a 5 spot. And the Mets are immediately out of the game. Their only run coming from a Luis Torrens solo homer. I'm embarrassed. If you guys can't tell, I mean, I'm not wearing the Mets jersey today. As you can see, the Mets jerseys are here on my chair because I will not wear a Mets jersey today based on how they're playing, based on how they played this weekend, based on the last 15 games, which now they have lost the last 13 of 16 games. What is wrong with the Mets? I am just absolutely devastated about it. Let's go to the chat real quick. Stefan from Amsterdam. What's up, Stefan? Still awake? Can't believe you stayed up for this one, dude. He's just putting in some crying emojis. Yeah, I get that. But another comment later. Starting pitchers and bullpen batter. Starting pitchers, bullpen, batters, fielders, everything has been crushed. Yeah, no, everything. The line on down has been horrible. The starting pitchers have been bad. The bullpen has been bad. GM David Stearns has been bad. It has been a complete shit show for the Mets. Explosive diarrhea. I love the name. If this June swoon bleeds into July, then I'll begin to worry. Just hoping it's a June swoon. Well, I mean, dude, the Mets have always been terrible, like in the summertime. Like, it's weird. The Mets start hot, typically, then they end up being total, frauds, and they don't end up, competing for a wild card spot. Anything like that. So we'll see what happens, but I love the name Explosive Diarrhea. Absol, congratulations, Pirates, on your second sweep of the season and beating the Mets. Oh my God, I need glasses. And beating the Mets in the series 30-4. The lowest runs scored for a team in baseball. This is most lopsided series in Mets history. Yes, it is. So the most lopsided series in Mets history, they were playing in 1988. If you remember, it was Mike Scioscia hitting a home run against the Mets as a member of the Dodgers to deliver them to the World Series. Yes, this is the most lopsided series that the Mets have had in 25, 30, 40 years, whatever it is, going back to 1988. So the Mets have embarrassed themselves beyond 2, 3, 4 generations, basically. The Mets are an absolute dumpster fire right now. This is just crazy. I couldn't believe it when they were 22 games over 500. And now look at them. Look where they are. And who cares? The Phillies might lose today. The Mets may stay only a half game out of first place in the National League East. If you are hate watching as they call it, the kids do, of the Phillies and the Braves and the other teams in the National League, then you probably have a bad team. And that is the case with the New York Mets, who have now lost 14 of their last 17 games and are half a game back. They might stay that way. We'll see what happens with Philly and Atlanta. But the Mets are embarrassed out of Pittsburgh by the last place Pirates. I am ready to jump off of my building, guys. I have a 3-story apartment here, and I am ready to go. Let's make it happen. I am ready to go head first down into the cement. The New York Mets have killed Tony Metro's mental well-being. This is absolutely unbelievable. Let's go to the chat. July 1st is when I'll start to grow concerned. Okay, so you're going to give it a couple more weeks, I guess. Literally next week is July 1st. I'm concerned right now. I can't believe nobody else is. Let's see. Explosive Diarrhea says, part of me feels we will turn it around against the Yankees. Why? What makes you feel like the Mets are going to turn around against the Yankees? I mean, like, I don't think that the Yankees are better than the Mets, and there's always a lot of juice for the Subway Series, but I don't think that as like, oh, once we get into that series, it'll turn around. And oh, by the way, Milwaukee has been the best team in the National League and all the Major League Baseball since May 25th. So the Mets don't have anything easy coming to them. They're off tomorrow, thank God, because me, as a Mets fan, I need a mental day off. This is just too much for me to take. But the Mets players... Wait. Oh, there we go. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Muted my mic. But, I mean, the Yankees coming into Citi Field, like, do you think that's going to work out for them? I don't believe that way. I actually was planning to go to all of those games, and I am not going anymore because the Mets are playing so poorly lately. Let's see. Explosive Diarrhea says, part of me feels we will turn around against the Yankees. Right? Two Cats says, glad to see Vientos. He meant Vientos is back in his prime. Yeah, Mark Vientos has looked great so far since he returned from the injured list. So happy to see that Mark Vientos looks like 2024 Mark Vientos. Yes, 100%. Just like Francisco Alvarez and Luis Angel Acuna, and just like Brett Beatty, and just like all of the other prospects the Mets have had that have been complete, total failures. Let's see. Absol says, guys, I need glasses. I am blind. Can you tell? I am freaking just squinting right here. Let's see. Absol says, Mets scored average of 2.9 runs in the last 15 games. Is something done about this? Yeah, okay. So, Absol's comment is Mets scored an average of 2.9 runs in the past 15 games. Is something going to be done about it? And I've been saying it. Fire Eric Chavez. Fire Eric Chavez. This lineup is ridiculous. How can this lineup continue to do what they have done against the Pittsburgh Pirates, who surprisingly actually have a pretty good bullpen, right? Like, I'm shocked by it. But like I said yesterday in the stream, the Mets, a World Series contender, should have numbers coming out of the bullpen the way the Pirates do. Guys with ERAs of 1.49, of 2.38, like all of these great numbers coming out of the bullpen. Instead, the Mets are throwing guys like Dickie Lovelady, who was just signed to a major league deal today after the Mets DFA'd him 2 days ago. And he ends up giving up 2 runs in 2 innings. I mean, what the F is going on with this team? I mean, you can't write this stuff. The Mets are a complete dumpster fire. The Mets can't find anybody that can throw a scoreless inning for them in relief. The Mets can't find anybody that can get a base hit in a key situation for their lineup. This is rock bottom. I've said it many times before. This is the true rock bottom for the New York Mets. This is just, I'm shocked by what we're witnessing right now. Let's see. Explosive Diarrhea says logged off. You're right about logged off gaming. So logged off gaming said diarrhea cha cha cha. Mets new song. I told you. Yeah, cha cha cha. The Mets effing suck right now, guys. I am just beside myself. I am losing my mind, right? Like I can't handle this anymore. Let me know how you're feeling in the chat. Scale of 1 to 10. What is your confidence level in the Mets? 1 to 10. Because mine right now is a 2. Because I do believe they still have a talented roster. They still have Lindor, Pete Alonso, Juan Soto, Brendan Nimmo. They still have Kodai Senga when he gets back, Sean Manaea, David Peterson for the first 3 in this rotation. But damn, the Mets are just absolutely getting throttled right now. 13 of their last 16 games they have lost. This is rock bottom, if you ask me. Let's go back to the chat. If I can see it. Oh my God, I wish I had glasses. Let's see. RMX Leo, what's up, man? How you doing? 13 of the last 16. Yep, just like I said. Fast Fun Poker Jamie sound. Yeah, no, the sound was off. I'm back now. I hope you guys can hear me loud and clear about how bad the Mets have been. Let's see. Stanley Babbage, what was the point of having a team meeting? I don't know. The Mets had a team meeting after the Mets got just absolutely brutalized by Pittsburgh last night. And I thought, okay, the Mets are probably going to win on Sunday. Look, who would have ever imagined the Mets getting swept by the Pirates? Let's be honest, like, that's not going to happen. And the Mets are immediately met with 5 runs in the first inning off of the back of Frankie Montas, as they are just embarrassed out of Pittsburgh. This is one of those sheepish kind of a moments where they are leaving Pittsburgh with the tail behind the back of the New York Mets. Francisco Lindor is doing his post-game recap with SNY's post-game interview. I mean, who could have believed that? Who could have believed that this would be the case? Wow, terrible. Yeah. Let's see. Ben Early says, you know things are bad when Luis Torrens is your only source of offense. Yeah. Torrens' only second home run of the season. He goes the opposite way, right center field for a homer in this game, but it didn't matter much. The Mets were already trailing 6-0. That made it 6-1. And then after that, the immediate next half inning, the Pirates scored 2 off of Dickie Lovelady to make it an 8-1 game. And eventually, we have Travis Jankowski pitching for the New York Mets in this game. Can you believe it? The Mets have a position player pitching for them in the final game of a sweep against the Pittsburgh Pirates? I am just disgusted by this team. I am absolutely, completely done. Just abhorrent performance from them over the last 2 weeks, guys. This is disgusting. I am so ready to just throw in the towel. I'm not going to do it because I'm a big Mets fan. I know you guys all are as well, but it looks like this team has thrown in the towel. So why shouldn't we as fans? I mean, this is horrible. Absolutely terrible. Guys, I don't think I said it in the beginning. I'm Tony Metro. Daily Mets content, recap after every single Mets game. Please definitely subscribe. Really appreciate it. Helps the channel out a lot. Also, please leave a like on this video of the Mets getting just completely bamboozled by the Pirates again for the 3rd straight day. I do appreciate that very much. If you want to call in and be a part of the show, you can do that right now. Go to the link in my description below, Discord. You can get in and you can be a part of my show right now. And we could just talk about how bad the Mets are. But guys, another terrible loss for the Mets. They have lost 13 of 16. Francisco Lindor is talking, and I mean, what is he gonna say? I suck. The team sucks. The pitching sucks. Everything sucks right now. The Mets are a dumpster fire. I just am so embarrassed. And as you can tell, not wearing the Mets jersey as I typically do for my streams, because I would be embarrassed to wear the orange and blue at this moment right now. Let's go back to the chat. Stefan says, all the way from Amsterdam. How about this, guys? Stefan is from Amsterdam, from the Netherlands. They are, what, 6-7 hours ahead of East Coast time in the United States. He's a new Mets fan, and this is what he is witnessing. Give credit to Stefan. Thank you for being a part of this stream. Thank you for being a part of my Discord channel. This is not what we were expecting for you in your first season. Not under Steve Cohen and the new era of Mets baseball, the new regime that we were hoping. But Give credit to that guy hanging out here at what, 10, 11, 12, almost 12 a.m. for him out there in the Netherlands. Thank you, Stefan, for being a part of this. He says, if I can find it, oh my God, I'm so blind. Stefan says, fed up with Mendy press conferences. Fed up with Mendy's press conference. It's baseball. It's 162 games. Those stretches will happen. We will keep on fighting. So that is a little bit of positivity from Stefan. So give a big hand for Stefan. Very nice. Love to hear that. Look, guys, it is 162, but the way the Mets have played over the last 19 games, basically 20 games at this point, has been completely unacceptable. I mean, losing 13 of 16 games, what they did against the Braves and against the Phillies in that 10-game stretch, getting swept now for the third time in their past 4 series. The first time they got swept was against Tampa Bay, and they have been swept 2 more times since then. One by Atlanta, one now here in this series against the worst team in the league, against the Pirates. I just don't get it, guys. I don't effing get it. This has been horrible. Oh my God. Let's go back to the chat. D-Rails, what's up, my man? How you doing? Appreciate you being in here. D-Rails always on top of things. D-Rails says, Tony, Mendoza has lost the clubhouse. I have been saying it. Look, you have been on point. And I, to this point, have said, I don't know if I truly believe that. I'm starting to believe that Carlos Mendoza has lost the Mets clubhouse. You might have been ahead of everybody else, D-Rails. It looks more and more day by day as the Mets go through this slump that Carlos Mendoza has lost the Mets clubhouse. Dude, what? I mean, there's no other explanation for it. There's no other explanation for getting outscored by the worst offense in baseball by a final of 30-3 or 30-4, whatever it was. It doesn't matter. They put up 30 runs on you in the past 3 games this weekend. You might be right, D-Rails. Something is completely off about this Mets team right now. I am shocked. I can't believe it. I thought the Mets were going to sweep the Pirates this weekend. And like I said earlier, who had the broom in their hands? The Pittsburgh effing Pirates. Absolutely embarrassing the Mets on Friday, on Saturday, and again here on the Lord's Day, Sunday. 12 runs today? 9 runs yesterday? 9 runs on Friday? Could have been me. Wouldn't have been me that could have predicted this. This is embarrassing. Fun Fast Poker Jamie, Tony Metro, only good thing about the Mets right now. I don't know if I'm the only good thing. I was playing golf earlier today. I had to cut it short. I played 9 holes because I was so pissed when I saw that Frankie Montas allowed the Pirates to score 5 runs in the first inning. And I said, I got to go back. I got to get ready for this stream. And we're here now. But I mean, I wish I wasn't. I wish I was still playing. That would be a lot better. But thank you, Fast Fun Poker Jamie. I appreciate it. Let's see. Stefan HML Tony's doing the stream like he has been punched by Tyson 10 rounds. Dude, I can't believe what we're witnessing. I am just in a mental state that is unstable about the New York Mets. They dictate my mood, how I'm doing, how I'm feeling, my emotional well-being always is dependent on how the Mets and about how the New York Jets are doing. And we all know about the New York Jets. They're a shit show. But the Mets, they might actually be catching up to them and making it even worse, despite Aaron Rodgers going out with his Achilles tear, rupture, whatever you want to call it, and then going to the Pittsburgh Steelers. So yeah, it's not a great time for me. But thank you, Stefan, all the way from Amsterdam. Let's see. Hold on, fellas. We're getting to a derails, Tony. Stefan says a 10 panic level for sure. So I asked you guys earlier, what is your panic level with this team? I'm beyond panic level. Panic level is over. I was at a 10 when they lost the first 2 games of the series against Atlanta at Citi Field. Now I am in downtrodden. I am in just apathy. I am just in the phase of, well, this is probably who they are and they're not going to recover. I don't know if the Mets recover from this, guys. I am really starting to think that the Mets may not make the playoffs in 2025. I mean, what have they shown you over the last 19 games that proves they're a playoff team? We have already seen the failed prospects with Alvarez, with Beatty, with Acuna, with Mauricio, with all of those guys. We have already seen the rotation that came from the bargain bin from David Stearns not turn out that we were hoping to, that he would be able to replicate the magic that was Sean Manaea, that was Luis Severino last year. And we had it for a little while with Griffin Canning. Then he ruptures his Achilles and we are left holding the bag. And the Mets, at the end of it all, have lost the last 13 of 16 games. They have dropped 10 games under 500 in this stretch. Think about it. 22 games over 500 3 weeks ago, and now the Mets are only 11 games over 500. I don't believe. Do you? I don't believe at all. Let's go back to the chat. Let's see. Logged Off Gaming Mendoza press conference. This is fine. We will fight. Yeah. Oh, no. We got to fight. We got to be better. Yeah. Haven't heard that. What a cliche from Carlos Mendoza. Logged Off Gaming also said, I bet you he says that. Yep, he does 100%. Dude is just walking cliche. Explosive Diarrhea says, Logged, I hate those interviews with the cliche, we will be fine, etc. Okay, so you're calling out Carlos Mendoza saying that those cliches in the post-game interview are not acceptable. Okay, so let me ask you this, guys. What do you want for Mendoza to say in these post-game interviews? Because obviously it has been terrible over the last 19, 20 games. So what do you want him to say? And I'm not defending Carlos Mendoza. I'm just asking you, what would you do if you were the manager, if you were the guys in charge trying to make things turn around for this team? Because I don't have the answers. I really don't. But let's go back to the chat. Oh, we got RMX Leo. What's up, man? How you doing? Good to have you in here in the chat. He says, if we play like to 2021 Mets and oh my God, guys, I am so blind. I need glasses. Hold on. I need to zoom in on this. If we play like the 2021 Mets and we spend like $1 billion, we did all of that. Okay. Yeah. So the Mets have spent basically $300-something million for this season, and this is the lineup we are turning out. David Stearns believed that Mauricio and Alvarez and all the other guys would turn out and be a lot better than they were, but obviously that has not been the case. So the Mets were hoping that they would get some strides from some of the guys coming up from the farm system, but we're not the Dodgers. That is readily apparent because the Mets, once again, showing all of their warts as they get swept by the Pittsburgh Pirates. The final of this one today, 12-1. They get outscored 30-4 in this series, the most lopsided series loss for the Mets since 2021. And we all know how that season went. Just absolutely brutal. But maybe what we'll do is trade Jonah Tong for a guy that will only be on the team for 2 months, just like Javi Baez was with the Mets in 2021. What do you guys say? Is that a good idea? I think so, right? Guys, if you are new to the channel, appreciate you tuning in. Be sure to subscribe. I do daily Mets content, do a daily recap of every single Mets game. Appreciate you all being in here. Please give this video a like. Really appreciate that. If you want to call into the show, you can do that right now. We are taking calls. Go to the Discord link in my description down below, and you could be a part of my live stream right this second. Now the phone lines are open, so if you want to do that, absolutely do. We actually do have a call right now, so let me go over to Discord and see if we can finally get our boy in here. And this is Steve. Steve has been trying to call in for a long time, and unfortunately something on my end or on his end has just not been working, but we're gonna give it a shot right here. So let's see if we can get Steve into the live call. So Steve, you are on the air. Please tell me, how are you feeling about the New York Mets right now? No? Oh, there we go. Steve, how you doing, man? No, nothing. You guys don't hear it on your end either, right? Steve, do we have you on the air? Steve, going once, going twice. Steve is gone. Okay, sorry, Steve. I don't know why, but for whatever reason, it's just not been working out with whenever you're trying to get in on my Discord and make your live call. And Steve is a great caller. Steve is a guy that is consistently here in the YouTube chat and popping off about the Mets, but for whatever reason, it is not working. So I am sorry about that, Steve. We have to have a little coming to Jesus moment about this, because I want you in these live streams. So we're gonna make it happen, I promise you. But guys, if any of you else want to get in on the live stream, I think it will work. Steve seems to be the only one that it does not work out for. So very frustrating, but hopefully if any of you guys want to communicate and get onto the stream, we'll make it happen. But Steve is still in the waiting room, so we'll see what happens. But let's go back to the chat. Fast Fun Poker Jamie, 12 runs for each apostle. Oh my God, Jesus, this is getting biblical now. I'm not a religious guy myself, but it is getting biblical, right? Like, there might as well be a type of rain that is going to eradicate all of the animals off of Earth the way the Mets are playing at this moment. Stefan says, I am now officially being hazed as a Mets fan. Since 86, it's suffering and pain. I'm learning to suffer. Part of a Mets fan's life, right? Yeah. Okay, so guys, if you don't know, give some love to Stefan. He has just become a Mets fan in the last couple years, I think, and he is from Amsterdam, from the Netherlands. He basically kind of caught on guard last year, and he is just first witnessing how a Mets season goes. All of the emotional roller coaster that a 162 game season has to offer. So give him some love. Send him a like, send him a follow, whatever you want to do here on YouTube. But yeah, Stefan, man, this is usually how it goes. It never comes easy with the Mets. Even in their most dominant season of 1986, it was a miracle that put them over the top when Mookie Wilson hit his ball between Bill Buckner's leg. And that is why I named my dog, my German Shepherd here, after Mookie Wilson. So, yep, you're in the deep end here, Stefan. Good to have you. Let's see. Jose Lopez Moya, what's up, Jose? Jose says, fire the hitting coaches. They haven't shown anything. 100%. I've been saying it for a long time, and I said it a lot last night, so I won't go any deeper right now. The Mets need to fire Eric Chavez. Eric Chavez has proven he is not a legitimate hitting coach for a major league team. This is embarrassing. Like, at what point do we decide that offense isn't scoring and they just got basically shut out by the Pirates? 1 run on Friday, 2 runs on Saturday, 1 run today, 4 runs total over a 3-game series against Pittsburgh, who is in last place, that we decide it's time to consider a change at hitting coach. a guy that once was a really good hitter for the Oakland Athletics, but as I have said before, usually your best hitting coaches are not guys that were super successful in Major League Baseball. Some of them never even played in the big league. So I am totally about firing Eric Chavez. Jimmy James C says, similar to 2021 season, Mets began 35-25, held first place in the NL East at the All-Star break, then went 77-85 for their final record. Yeah, Jimmy, you're not wrong, man. This season looked a lot like the previous year, 2021, where the Mets were just kind of coasting. You were getting walk-off wins with Michael Conforto getting a bases loaded hit by pitch, bases loaded walks, all kinds of stuff that just went in your favor. And that is how these first 2 months felt. And we knew the offense wasn't doing enough, but we were just kind of blindly optimistic about everything. And now it is reaping the horrible, horrible situation that we are in. The Mets losing 13 of their previous 16 games. Let's go over to Discord. I believe we had, Eddie, you were in there. Now you're gone. Eddie, if you want to hop back in, I'd love to have you as a caller. Eddie does a great job. So I'm going to just type to him. Hopefully we'll get Eddie on this. He is a Mets fan basically since the Mets inception, always has really good takes on the team, so hopefully he'll call in. And if you want to call in, please do it right now. Go to the link in my description below. It is literally called Call Into the Show Discord, and if you don't have Discord, really easy to make an account. Just literally like put your phone number in and you'll be able to get right back on. So hopefully you guys call in. But back to the chat. D-Rel says, Ray. Yep, Ray is a great Mets fan. I'm so happy that you guys are here together. Ray says, Tony, speechless. Closed door meeting, question mark? So they can hand out the toilet paper, because this is a shit show. The Mets are a shit show right now. Yes, they are. I mean, man, I'll be honest, guys. I feel like more people tune in to my streams when the Mets are doing poorly than when they're doing well. And I understand why. It's just like legacy news. People tune in to Fox or CNN or any of those cable broadcast networks when things are going bad in the world. And it's the same thing with your favorite baseball team, with your favorite sports team. So I appreciate that you guys are all coming in, but things are going so bad down the toilet for this team. As Ray says, they need to hand out toilet paper to each of the players. So when you crap yourself, here's a piece of toilet paper. When you crap yourself, here's some 2-ply. I mean, this has just been absolutely unbearable as a Mets fan to watch. I mean, what the hell is going on? Yesterday, they put Blackburn out for the second inning. What a horrible choice that was. Today, we put all of our faith in Frankie Montas pitching a solid start for the team. And he ends up giving up 5 runs in the first inning, and the Mets are absolutely lifeless after that. Just a terrible, terrible Oh my god. I've been muted this whole time. Oh my god. Okay, guys. So I've been muted for, I don't know, maybe the past 10 minutes. We're back. Oh my god. Thank you for letting me know, Stefan. Jesus. Nah, you're out, Tony. Nope. Okay. Oh my god. Guys, I'm sorry. I have the new microphone. This is the mute button right here. Do you see that red button there? That is what happened. So unfortunately, I'm sorry, guys. I muted the fucking effing stream. Oh my god, I'm gonna get, now I can't monetize this. Whatever. I don't even care. Bad streak for the Mets. How you guys feeling? 1 out of 10. What is your anger level at this team? We're beyond panic level. Panic is at 10 already. What is your anger level at the Mets right now after losing their 13th game in 16 contests? Because I am at a 10. I am at a 10 on the panic level. I am at a 10 on the anger level. Things are going bad. I apologize for being muted for that. Sorry, guys. Thank you for letting me know in the chat. I'm sorry. Like I said, this is a new mic, and the mute button is this little red dot right here. So sometimes it happens as I'm trying to, just like that. You see what just happened? Yeah, as I'm trying to get comfortable with this new microphone right in my face. So hopefully you guys can hear me loud and clear. Although maybe you don't want to hear me because the Mets have been horrible lately. Holy crap, this is a disaster. Let's go back to the chat. Let's see, audio off, audio is muted. I'm sorry, guys, my bad. Let's see, Yolanda and Dino Vega says, how do you like the sweep? You said a while ago, hell no to the Phillies taking first place. That also were swept by the Pirates. Okay, that's cool, Yolinda, whatever your name is. Guess what? The Phillies are about to lose 2 out of 3 to the Braves. The Phillies, even after the Mets' follies of getting swept by the Pirates, getting swept by Atlanta last week, and losing 2 out of 3 to Philadelphia, are still only going to be a half game above the Mets in first place. So, yes, are the Mets playing their worst baseball right now? 100%. But you still only managed to be a half a game ahead of the New York Mets. So if you want to run victory laps around the Mets right now, go ahead if you're a Phillies fan. Go ahead if you're a Braves fan. The Mets are still only a half game out of first place. So what does that say about your team? I don't know. Your team, the Phillies, that the Mets just absolutely brutalized in the National League Division Series last year in 4 games. I don't know. What does that tell you? Because the Mets have owned the Phillies over the last 5 years. So come back to me when you got something better. Thank you so much for tuning in, Yolinda. Appreciate that very much. Ray is laughing emojis. D-Rose 99. Jose Lopez, I'm mad at 20. 20. Okay, so your anger level is at a 20. Yeah, so is mine. I can't go past 10 because if I do, I might throw my TV out the window. Let's see, Ray, I am at the 12. Tony, the thermometer blue, LOL. Yeah, most Mets fans, I would say, are probably above a 10 on the anger level right now based on how this team is playing. I mean, guys, we came into this series thinking after the 2 wins against the Braves, damn, the Mets have a chance to win 5 games in a row. They have an easy series this weekend against Pittsburgh. But it seems like every time the Mets go to Pittsburgh, they just get absolutely bamboozled. The Pirates find a way to look like the best team in Major League Baseball, a team that has the lowest runs scored, the lowest home runs, the lowest slugging percentage, just put up 9, 9, and 12 on the New York Mets, who have the highest payroll in baseball and are aspiring for a World Series appearance. What the hell is going on with this team? Just absolutely terrible. Thank you guys for sounding off in the chat. Stanley says he's at an 11, so we are beyond the 1 from 10 scale. Mets fans are pissed off, and I don't blame you guys. This has been a complete crap show from the New York Mets. Guys, the Mets are off tomorrow. Thank God. Because for my mental sake, I need them to be off tomorrow. I cannot watch another Mets game. They have played something like 13 games in a row at this point. They need it as much as I do as a fan. I'm sure as much as you guys do as Mets fans. So that is a great sign that hopefully there will be no bad news coming out of the Mets tomorrow. But I'm going to end this stream early. I'm going to try to enjoy my Sunday. So thank you all for tuning in. I really appreciate it. You guys mean so much to me because without you, I can't do these streams. Without you guys tuning in and chatting, I couldn't do it because you helped me so much by just giving me different ideas, different thoughts, different feelings about this team. So thank you to Stefan. Thank you to Explosive Diarrhea. Thank you to Absol. Thank you to Stanley Babbage. Thank you to Big Papa 1967. Thank you to Logged Off Gaming. Thank you to Two Cats. Thank you to I have one more, RMXLIO. Thank you to Fast Fun Poker Jamie. Really appreciate you tuning in, man. I think this is the first time that I have seen you on one of my streams, so thank you so much. Thank you to, let's see, D-Rails, of course, one of the OGs, D-Rails, popping in on the Mets, getting swept this Sunday. So thank you to you. Thank you to Jimmy James C. and to, hold on, let's go, Jose Lopez Moya. Thank you to, have I missed anybody else? Mr. Met Killa, you're a first-timer as well. Thank you so much for that. And I think that is basically everybody that was in the comment section. But thank you to anyone that didn't comment, but that has been watching this stream. I appreciate it so much. Guys, we're going to do another one tomorrow. I don't know how it's going to be because the Mets are off tomorrow, but I'm going to try to enjoy tonight, to enjoy Monday afternoon before I do another live stream about the Mets. But hopefully they get back on track against the Milwaukee Brewers beginning Tuesday. You can tune in here on my channel. If you're not already subscribed, would really appreciate if you do that. Daily Mets content, post-game recap after every single Mets game right here. So really, really looking forward to having you guys all here. But until then, I am Tony Metro. Stay true to the orange and blue.